So we're here today in the Western Cape as part of the national strategy of vaccinating, proactive vaccination of the national herd. A few months back I announced a new policy to beat foot-and-mouth disease once and for all in South Africa. That has a number of phases. The first is ensuring that we vaccinate the entire national herd of animals around the country. So proactively we'll get ahead of foot-and-mouth disease rather than going around the country trying to chase the disease wherever it breaks out. This we believe will bring certainty to the sector and also will ensure that this is the last major outbreak of foot-and-mouth disease that we see in South Africa. It's a similar path that peer countries like Brazil, Argentina, India, Turkey and others have used to beat foot-and-mouth disease. Obviously, it requires a large-scale number of vaccines. We imported over 2 million vaccines last year, though it's the largest procurement of foot-and-mouth vaccines in the history of the country. And of course, we now have millions more vaccines that are going to be flowing into the country from Argentina, from Turkey, and of course our own locally produced vaccine. Obviously, this strategy ensures that we can bring certainty to the red meat sector in the country, which for years has been having to start each year with the uncertainty of, is there going to be another foot-and-mouth disease outbreak? Where is it going to be? We're now able to ensure that that doesn't happen and that we proactively vaccinate. Once we get to a certain level of vaccination, we can apply to the World Organization of Animal Health for FMD-free with vaccination status. This will then open up markets that have been closed to us for decades to be able to export red meat. And that's when the real value starts to kick in terms of the value chain. Once we've done that, we will then stop vaccinating at a national level and only vaccinate in the endemic areas, northern parts of Mpumalanga, KwaZulu-Natal, and some parts of Limpopo. We will always vaccinate along that route, but we will then open up compartments in the rest of the country to be declared FMD-free without vaccination. And then really the whole world is open to South African red meat products and the value chain. This is a new approach to biosecurity and a new approach to ensure that we get on top of this disease once and for all. And this we will make the last major outbreak of foot-and-mouth disease that we ever see in South Africa again. Obviously, to embark upon a mass vaccine strategy, you need vaccines. And we've in the past been reliant only on the Botswana Vaccine Institute. And unfortunately, they had a mandatory factory closure in December. So the millions of vaccines we were getting from them, we lost production on those. This then got us to start looking elsewhere in the world. And for the first time ever now, we're bringing in vaccines from other parts of the world to use here. So for instance, Biogenesis Bago received their Section 21 notice from SAHPRA last week. They've now been issued the import permit. And by the end of next week, the first 1 million doses of Biogenesis Bago will be in the country. That'll be followed by our order of 960,000 from Botswana. And then the Dolvet vaccine from Turkey that was approved for use will be in the country. And then after that, in March, Biogenesis Bago have indicated that they would be able to provide upwards of 5 million doses in that month. So these will be sufficient for us to start the rollout of this mass vaccination campaign and pick up where we had to leave off because BVI had to shut production. We've also, for the first time in 14 years, submitted the field strains of the South African outbreak to the Pirbright Institute, which is an international reference laboratory. What that means is that other countries who potentially have vaccines can match it very easily and ensure that those vaccines are made available in South Africa as well.